you that was a fornicator, all of a sudden there is this piety you carried. The reason is simply because you have journeyed on a pathway of sons. Because sons, when they are done, they become the express image of his person. When you see them, you see the Lord. If you have seen me, you have seen him. That's what happens. The only thing God gave mankind when he said, let us make man in our own image, it was his image. But there was something the fall did to us. When the fall came, it brought different kinds of lust. It brought different kinds of corruption in our heart. And so when you give your heart to Jesus, he will now put an operation inside of you. That's why he said, in that day, you don't need to tell them about my law. I will write that law in their hearts. He said, you don't need a teacher to teach them. He said, that law will govern them. But how come? Despite the many churches, just in Old Port alone, we can't count the numbers of churches. Yet, in the bank, money is lost. Yet in the market there is many dubiousness. Listen, although churches are growing big, the operation of the law of life has been darkened, has been killed. So his name can be Elijah. As powerful as that name sounds, he has refused to yield. So that corruption can't die. So you can even give him a position in church, a pastor, but you will notice that he can't exude the image of God, because there was no mortification that brought him to the presence of God to behold only God. Brothers and sisters, it's not only you that came with meekness. All of us were brought out of Egypt. But there are many people who are out of Egypt, but Egypt is not out of them. So what that law will do, that law will mortify Egypt. Sama, if only we can learn to yield to that, God will find sons. Because the only thing sons has to show is the image. He says he is the brightness. The reason why our Christianity these days is dry, you have been looking for God, you can't find him, it's simply because there is one little government you failed to obey. If only you gave yourself to that government, that addiction would have died. Because what that government would have exposed you to is the presence. And what the presence will do to you is that it will bring the image of God to you. Then you will become the brightness of his glory, the express image of it. You will mirror God.